Stories of Unicorns. Chapter 1. Ellie and the Unicorn. King Victor was cross. "I want a unicorn," he roared, but so far his soldiers hadn't been able to catch one. "What's stopping you?" he shouted at a soldier. "I know there's a unicorn in the forest." "Your Majesty," the soldier replied, "it's too clever for us. And it can run really fast." The Lord Melfit had an idea. "Sire," he said, "I heard the kitchen maid Ellie has made friends with it. The soldiers could sneak after her and grab it." "Well, what are you waiting for?" snapped the king. "And don't come back without my unicorn." Ellie was in the kitchen facing a pile of greasy pots. She was thrilled when Lord Melfit gave her the afternoon off. "I'll go and see the unicorn." Shh. It was a hot day, but the forest was full of shade. Ellie wandered along, humming. There were footsteps behind her, but she didn't hear them. She saw a flash of silver between the trees. "The unicorn," Ellie thought happily, fishing in her pocket for a sugar lump. Slowly, the unicorn came closer. It looked at Ellie, then lowered its head to munch the sugar. Ellie stroked its neck. It was like soft white velvet. Suddenly, soldiers burst out of the bushes and grabbed the unicorn. It struggled wildly. "Let him go!" screamed Ellie. But they ignored her. They tied up the unicorn and dragged it away. The unicorn was hauled into the king's stable yard. Its hooves clattered loudly on the stones. King Victor was overjoyed, but Ellie was miserable. "I have to set the unicorn free," she decided, "but how can I stop the soldiers from hearing?" That night the palace woke to an awful racket. "What's that noise?" snapped Lord Melford. "Ghost!" trembled the king under the sheets. "Kitchen thieves!" screamed the cook. In the kitchen, Ellie was smashing plates and banging pans. The din brought the soldiers running and leaving the stable yard empty. Ellie grabbed some dishcloths and crept to the stable yard. "I'm getting you out of here," she told the unicorn, and it nodded its head gently. Quickly, she tied the cloth over the unicorn's hooves. "Let's go," she whispered, leading the unicorn across the yard. Wrapped in cloth, the hooves didn't make a sound. As they reached the forest, there was a shout. Someone had discovered the empty stable yard, but it was too late. "Goodbye." The next day, King Victor was furious. When Ellie took out the washing, she saw him stomping around the yard. "How did it escape?" he yelled at his nervous soldiers. "We don't know, Your Majesty," they admitted. "Numbskulls and nincompoops." Ellie just smiled to herself and hung up 4 dishcloths to dry. Chapter 2. The Clumsy Unicorn. Most unicorns are graceful and elegant, but the unicorn of Fair Tree Forest wasn't like most unicorns. This unicorn was always stumbling over logs, tangling its tail in bushes, or catching its horn in branches. And the unicorn was lonely. It was the only unicorn for miles around, and the other animals were afraid of it. If the unicorn looked up at the birds, they spread their wings and flew away. When it lowered its head to say hello to the rabbits, they ran into their burrows. One day, the unicorn was wandering through the forest when it saw a beautiful butterfly. The unicorn turned to watch it and tripped over a tree root. The unicorn struggled, but it couldn't move its head. Its horn was stuck in the tree. It pulled and pulled, but the horn wouldn't budge. Then the unicorn heard footsteps. A hunter appeared carrying a sack full of animals. He was whistling and dreaming about food. Rabbit stew. It's my lucky day." When he saw the unicorn, he grinned. "What's this?" he chuckled. "A unicorn with a horn that's worth its weight in gold." He lowered his sack and pulled out a knife. "People pay a fortune for unicorn horns," he muttered. "If I can just cut it off." The unicorn was terrified and wrenched at its horn again. In its panic, it pulled even harder. Suddenly, it stumbled free and tripped over the sack. It tumbled head over heels and its horn tore the cloth. Rip! There was a rush of wings and fur as the animal scrambled out. The hunter was furious to see his dinner disappear. Just wait till I catch you, he yelled, waving his knife at the unicorn. Then he paused. The unicorn was staring straight at him, and the hunter no longer liked the look of its horn. It was sharp and scary. The hunter's hand shook and he dropped his knife. Don't hurt me, he stammered, and fled, and he never dared hunt in Rain Fair Tree Forest again. Slowly, timidly, the animals came back, and the unicorn tried to make friends. It shook apples from the tree for the rabbits and tore up the hunter's old sack to make nests. And from then on, no one except the hunter was afraid of the clumsy unicorn. Chapter 3: The Strawberry Unicorn. Farmer Jack was very worried about his strawberries. It hadn't rained for days and the plants were starting to droop. The strawberries needed water, but the well wasn't big enough and the stream had turned into a dirty, bad-smelling trickle. I don't know what to do, Jack told his wife Lily sadly. Without water, the plants will die. And he added, someone's stealing the berries. Soon we'll have none to sell. The thief must be coming while we're asleep, said Lily. Maybe we can catch him? The next day, Jack got up early. He tiptoed out to the field and gasped. There was a unicorn right in the middle of the strawberries. The unicorn scrambled up, berries bursting underfoot. It was covered in juice. My goodness, a unicorn, cried Jack, and it's pink. The unicorn glanced down and whinnied crossly. The unicorn rolled in the dust, but the pink didn't come off. It tried licking itself, but its horn got in the way. Jack began to feel sorry for it. Why don't you come to the house and have a bath, he suggested. Lily frowned when she saw the unicorn. So that's our thief, she said. Yes, replied Jack, and it needs a good wash. We don't have enough water, Lily pointed out. It can have my bath water, said Jack. I don't mind. I do, grumbled Lily. I'm the one who has to smell you. But she picked up the soap. If only the stream hadn't gone bad, she sighed. Going out to the well, the unicorn pricked up its ears. Lily hauled up a bucket of water. Then she turned to the unicorn, but it wasn't there. Stop! The unicorn was standing by the stream. No, that water is bad, Lily cried. The unicorn ignored her and dipped its horn in the smelly sludge. A trail of clear, sparkling water rippled out from the horn until the whole stream was running clear and sweet. It's a miracle, said Lily. She ran to get Jack. He was thrilled. The strawberries are saved, he cried. Unicorns really are magic. There's enough water for everyone. Now the unicorn stepped into the fresh running water. Jack and Lily rubbed soap all over its coat until it gleamed silvery white. The unicorn looked at them and neighed softly, flicking its tail happily. I think it's saying thank you, said Lily. We're the ones who should thank you, said Jack. Maybe we should offer it more berries as a reward? And the unicorn made a face and trotted away. I think it's had enough strawberries to last a lifetime, laughed Lily. The end.